Hi there. Welcome back to this very neglected channel. I was feeling inspired and called to do a collective reading and healing for the eclipse energies, which the lunar eclipse is happening tomorrow, Saturday, October 14th, 2023, and I am recording this on Friday the 13th. So I've already said the prayer that it be in the highest good of all that tune in, and may I be a channel for whatever messages need to come through at this time. So yeah, it's been far too long since I've done one of these, and I often will let inspiration lead, but I also need the cards to tell me to pick them up. And there's just been so much that's gone on this year. I don't know if that's been the same with you or not. There's a lot I would love to share, maybe in another context or form, not in the space of this reading. And the time has just flown. I can't even believe we're already to mid-October. So, yeah, lots of change, lots of big shifts, and feeling like a big end of the last cycle is really closing, like almost like a 7-year cycle is closing. Not just the eclipse portal since the spring, although, wow, so much has happened in between now and then. So I just invite you to take a deep breath, come into the moment, come into your body, breathe into your lungs or your heart, and then just release as I tune into the energies. And we'll start with some oracle cards like I do, and then we'll move on to the traditional tarot cards. I've been hooked on the Starseed Oracle deck, and then the little white Sage Tarot, like with the little animals, the little white deck, this deck. So that's how we'll do this. And I'm really going to work on listening, like getting out of my own way and letting what needs to come through instead of trying to direct it. And before we even get started, I feel like I wanted to also say happy Libra season. So the lunar eclipse tomorrow is a new moon in Libra. Mercury's there. Mars is like on his way out, and the south node of the moon. So tons of Libra activations. Depending on where that falls in your chart, this could be lighting up a lot for you. It could be lighting up nothing for you. It's lighting up quite a bit for me, especially my Pluto in Libras. We're working through some stuff, and so I just really wanted to remind you to take the time to rest if you need it. I haven't needed a rest, and then this weekend it's like I really need to rest, and then I realized, the sun is on my Saturn and la la la. I won't bore you with that, but eclipse energies can wreak havoc on our immune system. So just even if you don't want to take time to rest, so just take extra care. That's just a very general message. And then in relation to Libra themes, I would say the message that most wants to come through is the deep listening. Libra can correlate to so many things, but when I sat down and tapped in before this, that's what was coming through. So just this deep listening. We're almost getting out of your own way to really show up for the other and not be worried about the response, not be worried about how, to just not be worried about all the things, and just having the mind kind of scooch out of the way and just listening from that deeper place, from the body wisdom, where there's almost just this sacred container to hold what you're hearing, without trying to give advice or problem solve or jump to conclusions or relate or respond or any of that. Just it's such a gift when someone can listen to you from that pure place. So if you're in a space you can offer that for another, that message really wanted to come through. And then also, if you can do that for yourself, that's just as profound. So the Libra Aries axis, self and other, Aries being the self, but there needs to be that strong container of self to be able to interface with the other. So either or. And in 2 weeks, we'll have a solar eclipse on a full Aries moon on the 28th of October. So heads up for that too. So this reading, that message I feel like can apply all the time, but that's just what's coming up right now. And then this reading is, I would say, a collective reading, but I feel like anyone tuned into me is a little bit more advanced than just your general consensus. So I'd say it's, for the few people that this reaches, that are tuned in, this is for you. And I'm really going to try and apply what I just said, because it's easy to talk. I'm really going to try and apply what I said about the listening versus the try and come up with the answer too soon, right? Because sometimes in that space of presence, something will emerge, and it's just so easy for the mind to just get in the way. So, and it's really easy to talk like I'm doing. So, before I get started pulling the tarot cards, I wanted to start with the Oracle deck, and the Whale and Orchid Elders came out for the Starseed card. Such a pretty card. And what's interesting, I may or may not read out of the guidebook, but I did that beforehand, and it was talking, mostly the main message coming through is like, what is your soul's gift, and how can you bring that? Like, how can you bring that frequency to Earth in a way that only you can, and that's really needed at this time? And then also, this, like, it says diving deep, this, like, I feel like everyone's diving pretty deep, and especially anyone listening to this, if you follow me, you're like capable of diving deep. So, or if you come across my path, I'm definitely not for everyone, and coming to accept that more and more. But this message coming through is like, how do you bring, like what is your unique signature thing that you can bring, because the world needs it. And then it did go on to say how if you've ever looked into the eyes of a whale, they see right through you. And I feel like I was just listening to a message about that, so that's an interesting synchronicity. And my name right now is Dream States Healing, and I already have a new name and a rebrand and so many ideas, and it just hasn't, I think I've been working on closing out too many things, but I'm so excited for when I can initiate some new things. So even though new moons are initiations, it doesn't quite, I feel like also the major eclipse energy is this like letting go, which sounds so cliche, right? This is what everyone's saying right now. Like we gotta let go of the gunk in order to call in the new. So it's interesting that then with the Oracle of Fate, the Destruction card came up. And then I feel like I always pull this card with that deck, but I just feel like these eyes are the eyes that are like seeing right through you. So seeing what needs to be consciously let go of to make room for this, which is all like the alchemy process. And all of the guidebook readings were so great. I almost want to take the time to do that, but I also want to be respectful of your time. Let me just glance at them. I'm not going to just bore you with reading them, but there was some good stuff. Let me make sure. Looking into the eye of a whale is something you'll never forget. Whales see into your very being, and in an instant you're changed forever. They see beyond the physical, the woundings, the identity, the personality, and the story, and they see right into your soul. If you pull this card, you're being called to surrender to your deepest truth and share it with potency. To bow to who you truly are, to stretch your heart wide enough to hold it all, and to leave your fears, doubts, and baggage at the door, to question any part of you that doesn't feel good enough. So I've definitely been guilty of letting that stand in the way of what I have to give. The whale and orca elders want to give others the privilege of seeing who you truly are, and for you to see the same in other beings. So it's basically just saying, like, drop the hang-ups, drop the BS, and, like, sing your song. So your homework tonight is to sing in your car. No, I'm just kidding. I just really liked how that spoke to seeing into the soul of something. Because also with all the Libra energy in the South Node, there's all this, like, kind of revisitations on the Fibonacci spiral of, like, old patterns of behavior that maybe we thought we were done with. And it's like, oh, okay, back here again, but, like, seeing through it. Oh, that's why I was talking about the name rebrand, the dream state healing. I used to go by see through it all. So I don't know, that it just really speaks to me of not getting too caught up in the density of things and the seeming solidity of things and the just, like, the problems of things and the challenge of things, and to just, like, a whale is, like, it says it, elders, like, that's the elder energy of, like, true wisdom and true, like, what am I trying to say here? There's the power and not just power, not just wisdom, but a seniority over your own space, and your own soul, and bringing that soul in to everything, into the earth. And then, I don't know, I just get this beautiful image of hearing whales just singing in the deep waters of the ocean, and, like, how we don't even realize that's happening, and yet it is happening. And so I don't know, I just feel really honored to pull that card. And orcas used to be my favorite animal as a kid. So, and then with the other cards, pulling the destruction card right after that, I found it was interesting because it says, what needs to die today? So that's heavy South Node lunar eclipse energy of just, like, what do we need to let go of? And sometimes just being reminded to let go helps. In the exhale, that just that it's even an option. Because our minds start to spin out and just get going so quick and so wrapped up and so turned around. Like, I feel like there's things within me that have died, and then the pattern just keeps trying to reinitiate, and I'm like, you don't need to reinitiate, like, you're done, like, but it's, like I said, it's easier to say all that than it is to embody it and to step into the body and step out of the mind, because the mind wants to control and keep you safe, and things feel a little dangerous right now. There's, like, a lot of unknown energy in the air right now, and a lot of volatility out there. And so the seeing through what's got to go in order to create, like, the death and the rebirth, to create space to swim through, and how, like, I don't know, I just see this image in the Alchemist card as, like, holding space for the new creation that's heart-centered and not ego-driven, or not, ego's not a bad word. What word am I looking for? Like, identity, like caught up in like what you think it should be instead of just letting it just be what it is. That probably doesn't make sense. I've noticed that I follow so many people. I also follow this guy called Swimming Through the Void. I think of that one. I like that card, makes me think of him. He's really inspiring. And then it's really a challenge to just not regurgitate what you hear and let a true message come through. So I hope I'm doing that justice. And let me stay on track here. Keep moving. I need to not let these also be so like long-winded. Okay, so the alchemist is a time of metamorphosis. I just like those words because destruction is often comes with the metamorphosis, and that can be a lot of the deep Plutonian work to really clear out what isn't, what's in the way. So I just feel like since I've started talking that, like, how do we get what needs to get out of the way? And people will say, like, get out of your own way, but how do you do that? Like that's again one of those easier said than done things. I think the answer is individual for everyone. Like for me, I think it's feeling safe. But then it becomes a whole nother line of inquiry of how do you, of like what enables you to want to sing your song? Or if you haven't been singing your song, why not? And then these questions come about. And then just sitting in that space and listening, which more and more these days it's hard, right? Because we're so addicted to our phones. We're so addicted to the next piece of content. We're so addicted to like this go energy. Like I need to take my own advice to just sit and just listen. And it's hard because sometimes we don't like what we hear. So like, how can you hold space for what you hear? And then there's a true, like, the Libra interface. The third thing is allowed to come into being. And I feel like that's what the alchemy card is all about. So it says, call into view everything in your current life as an opportunity for growth. And it's a potent time to plant seeds of what you want to invite in. So what do you want to let go? What do you want to invite in? That was like my theme this morning. I'm not going to redo this whole thing. So I'll say this. A key to being an alchemist is naming what's happening so that you can work with it, whatever it is. Whatever you're given, the alchemist is able to transmute. Even if they have a handful of, quote, bad ingredients, they're able to make magic with what they have. And it could be a long process. But while you continue to show up in whatever situation and slowly work at transmuting it. So, like, really powerful. Like, I could end here, and you're welcome to end here if you feel like you've gotten what you need to get. But the color of these cards is, like, just so, I don't know. Everything feels like, the energy right now does not feel soothing and, like, whatever. But this color palette feels really soothing to me because I don't know where I come from, but it's somewhere that looks like this. And just as a little intermission before I start pulling tarot cards for the message for right now, and like letting you kind of like just sit and absorb what I just said. I just got this little, it's called Trolite. I've never seen this crystal before. I don't think it's going to come through on the camera. But it's like this light blue, silver. And I've never heard of this crystal before. And the woman where I got this was saying it's like a new thing out of Brazil or something. I don't know. I don't normally go for carved or polished gems. I tend to like the rough and the raw. But these guys were just like talking. The little guy is so powerful. So yeah, so some heavy alchemy really wanting to come through, like this, almost like we've done so much work and it's time to just like wrap it all up, consciously let it go, and then walk in this new direction. I'm just looking at these cards and seeing if anything else. I'm also hearing finding ways to self-soothe right now is incredibly important because the energy is so crunchy, for lack of a better word. And you know, some people think like with all that's going on in the world that it's you know, like maybe selfish or self-indulgent to do the inner work, but you know, as within so without. I feel like if everyone had a space or a way to do their inner work, that the puzzle pieces would shift. So I'm a big proponent of that. It's okay if you're not. If you're not, you're probably not listening to this. So I'm just being redundant at this point. So let's go ahead and shuffle and see. Let's go ahead and do what we need to know for the next 6 months, what we need to know right now, and what we need to know. What we need to know moving forward. Okay, so did you hear those cards fall? It fell on face down, so hold on. So what we need to know for the next 6 months is the 9 of Pentacles. That was the first one. Ooh, and then the 10 of Cups. Certainly not expecting that. So that's what we need to know right now. I like that flowing water over the orca. Oh, and the little sand dollars. Okay, so something's able to come into our physical 3D reality that maybe hasn't been possible before now, that's going to let our cups overflow. And sorry to pause or leave you in silence. I'm also using headphones and I hope they're not making too much of a static noise. I don't know. I'm just feeling really touched by those two cards. That 9 of Pentacles is what flew out, so that's really important for the next 6-month period. Which I guess it's saying that this destruction and creation process is like prosperous. But then the 10 of Cups is so much more emotional, like emotional fulfillment. So this could be something you've been working on. It's like finally going to get some footing and bring some like true inner joy. If you can let the thing that needs to die, die, and let the thing that wants to come to life, come to life. Also to remember to not let materialism become too much of the focus. And I think I need to hear that. I've been a little gluttonous lately. I'm like a little squirrel that like, let's stock up for fall. It's like, what are you doing? This is like a bit a bit much. And then what was the third? The what to know right now. Moving forward, how to move forward. So it's the 9 of Pentacles, for the next 6 months eclipse period. What to know right now is the Ten of Cups, and then how to move forward and navigate the next 6 months is the next card I'll pull. Three of Pentacles. The cards are doing some really interesting mirroring things. Okay, so hold the vision. Your frequency, your soul, your song really wants to come through, and it's going to lead to an emotional fulfillment. I would say abundance in a way that's not just like material, but actually fulfilling. And that hold the vision to alchemize it. Yeah, they're all kind of talking. I don't know if I'm translating this very clear or if it's really obvious, or I love doing these readings because I never know what's going to come out. I actually saw an old, when I first started doing this, and I was like, oh, I need to do that again. I need to do it more often too. There's all kinds of things I want to do. I need to figure out how to, if anyone knows how to do the creator cards through the whole video where I just talk, I'll show up a lot more because I don't have a great camera setup. And I already started making some cards. I know there's a few people like, we'll do some more shout outs. Lunar, she has an ASMR style YouTube that I'm like addicted to. She uses video, but why did I bring her up? She wasn't who I meant to bring up. Well, someone needed to hear her name. There's like the Magnetize Yourself woman and a Luna Ash. I know that they do video cards and they talk the whole time. And I like want to do some yoga nidras and some other, I was actually thinking I'd need to get a better sound system, but to do some ASMR inspired yoga nidra, or I don't know. There's just a ton that's been percolating under the surface. So there's even a part of me that's like, is this reading for me or for everyone else? But I know that it's for everyone because I set that as a very clear intention. And then I very closely feel the collective. So if this is resonating with you, I would love to hear it. I'm open to any feedback, honestly, you know. And okay, let's keep pulling cards here. I could stop here too, but it's like I've missed doing this and we're already in it, so if the camera runs out of space, we'll stop. I feel like people don't even have, I haven't even messed with the shorts. I haven't really played by any of the rules or the the ways to become successful, quote unquote. I've got this like, I'm working through stuff, okay? And okay, could I maybe get a card clarifying the destruction, and then let's do what we need to know about our health over the next 6 months, and also just like in the greater, wider collective, what do we need to be aware of? Okay, so for the destruction card, it says Hermit. He's got the little star in his pack, little sloth. So in the 9, echoing the 9 of Pentacles, so it's okay to slow down and let dissolve what needs to dissolve. Or if you have like a heavy grief day, to like give yourself a chance to just integrate and recover. The word integrate's coming in really strongly. And then as far as like the collective world stage, the Queen of Cups reversed. So there's a lack of motherly, compassionate nurturance saying, hey, everything's going to be okay, float along. There's like a lack of that. So how can you bring that to yourself or to the other? And what else was I talking about? Health, personal health. I also feel like with the sloth card, you know, he's got like, he's gently holding on, but there's this like loosely holding to the earth, but like the rest of the card is so dark, but then there's like, but keeping your like little star tucked in your back pocket. Like what's your little back pocket thing? And how can you like keep that nearby no matter how dark things get, no matter how affected you get or how triggered you get or how much grief comes up. I feel like last week was a really heavy grief week. I don't even know if it's over. And I commend you if you're doing that hard work, because it's not easy. Along with listening, I feel like there was like a lot of let, not just let go, but like let it go, let it be, I can't think. I wrote a post and I just don't do well under pressure. So health is the 8 of Cups, which is like that Tower of Cups and that one, it's like stacked so high it could fall over. And with health, I'm hearing just don't be careless. Also coming back to the 9 of Pentacles, like don't be too gluttonous or greedy. Also easier said than done. Ooh, you can almost like hear that card about to shatter. But there's still the pink ribbon there too. So I guess eight of Cups is typically like a card of transition, and you know, if you spill something, you spill something. Creation and destruction go hand in hand. So how does that relate to health? Just really asking yourself, like, what's getting in your way? What's getting in your way of your health? What are you willing or not willing to give up? And like, I know for me, I really need to give up coffee, and I just stubbornly don't. And I pay a price for it. So then there's also that knowledge of again, coming back to the bigger picture instead of the personal will. And also not going along with what other people say it should be either. Like just finding your own unique thing that works for you, but being honest, you know. And I feel like that's also saying there's some things we need to move on from our past, from limiting beliefs, from just stuff that's like what needs to die in order for vitality to be reclaimed. I know that's something I've been working with, and again, easier said than done. It's just this like putting an end to what you know is dead underground. Okay, so now we got, just while I was talking, we got, these will probably be the last 3 cards too. So 4 Swords, the Star, and the 2 of Pentacles. And I don't know how this got so messy. Now the sun's coming in. Again, the repeating themes are crazy. That bring your own unique light. This card, it's got the Sage. So again, cleaning the space to let the light come through. We've got the Star there. We've got the Star in his pocket. We've got this this star, and does the Star card, the Star card's normally like the renewal in the water. I don't know, that just feels like the main, oh, so the Star card comes after the Tower card, right? So again, destruction, and then how do we alchemize through the destruction to bring about the thing that the earth needs, that you're, like the light you're hiding within. The 4 Swords, I think, is coming back to the listening, to be able to create from a clear, centered place. Without letting the mind interfere. That feels like a strong reconnection to that. And then the 2 of Pentacles, co-creating. And then this card's beautiful because it's got the that green figure 8. So how to co-create from a heart-centered space with your inner light. And I set the deck down with the 4 of Wands is facing up. I love that. So yeah, this was not at all the message I thought would come through. I thought it was going to say the world is ending and you all need to like get to higher ground. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like I shouldn't even said that. But I guess I am the vessel to tell you, if you have made it this far into listening to this, you have something that the collective needs, and that like now's the time to bring it. And there's going to be quite a bit of success, and you may still be in the process of tying up loose ends, sweeping up the broken glass, saying goodbye to the clothes in the closet, like really just letting yourself let go and release, like maybe an exercise, if you feel so inclined, is to write down 3 things you're ready to let go of right now, and 3 things you want to call in. That might be like a really good new moon. Look, this light is coming in like the sword and the stone. I reference that a lot in these readings. That movie was like a big deal for me. But again, the 4 Swords, the rest theme's coming through really hard. Like there needs, in order to cook the bread, it's got to rest and rise. Otherwise, you're just going to have flat, doughy bread. And it's not to say be lazy or procrastinate, because I can be guilty of that too. But that like, when the energy isn't there, don't force it. And when the energy is there, then challenge it. And like finding that balance. Balance is a Libra word too. No Justice cards came out today though. But really, that's like the only sword we got. A lot of it, the rest of it's water and pentacles. And then the nines came through really strong. I don't know if that's significant to anyone. The 17 is the star card. My dog just decided to get up and shake something off. Yeah, what's in your heart? What are you holding? What do you want to bring? How do you envision it? It's okay if it's a messy process, if you spill along the way. Oh, now she's drinking water. Yeah, I think if I were going to do ASMR, I would have to get like a actual studio. I've been loving ASMR though. I don't know what that's about. Not the role play side of it, just the actual, like, the whispering is like so soothing. I don't know what I love it. So I've been feeling a lot of inspiration and I need to do something with it. So this message is really good for me. I hope it's like really good for you too. I hope this isn't just me talking to hear myself talk. If anything lit you up or you want to share anything, I would love to hear it. The Two of Cups too, it's like, maybe that means there is like a co-creative partner coming in if you don't already have one, and or maybe you'll be coming from a more heart-centered place. Yeah, some kind of deep love connection. Even if that's the thing you're bringing to the world, right? Like let that carry you. But take some time to think about it and rest about it. And I'm just thinking of that, like, I told myself I wasn't going to let this video go on 45 minutes, but it is what it is. Also, with that Queen of Cups reversed, it's just so important to notice where we're out of balance, or notice where we're being the martyr. Which goes right back to what I was just saying. If your energy is depleted, don't do the like self-sacrifice for something else. Unless that's really what's in your heart. Try and get out of like conditionings of the shoulds and all those like codependent Libra things of they won't like me if I don't, say no if you don't have the energy. Also easier said than done, but like I feel like that was a reminder. Someone needed to hear that. And this deck specifically says the earth element can feel really heavy without enough air. So again, a reminder, no matter how intense things get over the next 6 months, just to remember to bring that air into your lungs and into your heart. I don't know why those two are connected in this reading too. Like, I feel like just focusing on the heart is a little bit cheesy. And then just the lungs. I don't know. I like the two of them together. Like, imagine the air filling your lungs and then bringing your awareness into your heart and listening to what's there. Love you guys.